Hey, it's Dr. Charles, aka CoachMD. In my over 30 years of medical practice, I've made it my goal to help you create a great life by achieving a strong mind, a healthy body, and an unshakable spirit. What I want to talk to you today about is this article that talks about just one food that can lead to better health, a smaller waist, all that stuff. We hear all these kind of gimmicky things, and so let's look at this and see if it plays out. The title of this article is "This Food Could Lead to Smaller Waist Size, Better Blood Pressure, and Healthier Blood Sugar," according to new research. And it's a carb. We've heard avoid carbs. Carbs are bad for you. Well, that's not always the case. Did you know that our brain only operates on sugar for energy? Yeah, that's right, sugar. So we have to have some type of sugar in our body. We have to have some type of food that generates sugar. Well, let me put it this way. As far as brain energy, there is other things like what are called ketones. We've all heard about the keto diet. Well, that's a conversation for another day. But the metabolism of blood cells requires sugar, and for it to operate and for us to be able to have thought processes, we need sugar to operate. But we don't need pure sugar, but we need sugar in our body to be produced in our body. So let's go over this. This article was written by Jessica Ball, Masters of Science and a registered dietitian. A healthy eating pattern is one of the best ways to lead to overall health life, maintain a healthy weight, and reduce risk for chronic disease. All true. But what does that actually look like day to day? Healthy eating can take many shapes and forms and can be achieved with foods from any type of cuisine. The key is moderation and variety. Okay, no qualms there. Moderation is really key. Just kind of digress for a second. If I'm going to eat a lot one day, and I'll be honest with you, over the weekend, I grew up in New Haven, Connecticut, right? If anyone knows New Haven, Connecticut, they'll know that I'm telling you, New Haven, Connecticut, look it up, is the center for the best pizza in the world. Yeah, that's right, in the world. I'm talking about in Italy, in New York, in the United States, in the world, New Haven pizza. Well, it came over from Italy in the early 1900s, but it is unbelievable. If you live in the area, you need to go to Worcester Street, either Sally's, Pepe's, but there's another one called Ernie's, which is on Whaley Avenue in New Haven, which is equally modern pizza also, is equally as good. And I would recommend it. There's the parties in West Haven. Anyway, but the bottom line is I ate a lot of pizza because when you go there, you indulge. And so what happened in my life? We talk about moderation. Prior to that, prior to knowing I was going to go, I did not eat a lot. And afterwards, I did not eat a lot. So, and even today, which is a few days removed from that, I'm not going to eat a lot. Because if you know you're going to binge, let's say, then you need to prepare the day before and the day after. That's what moderation looks like. What moderation doesn't look like is if you binge and then the next day you have a big breakfast, lunch, or dinner, whatever, and then the next day you do the same. That's not moderation. You need to be able to play it out and think and plan ahead. So that's what moderation looks like. Well, let's see what the dietitian has to say. One food that gets an undeserved bad rap is carbohydrates. Carbs are crucial for a variety of bodily functions, and they are the type of fuel our brains prefer. There you go. They can boost our mood, keep our memory sharp, and even help us lose weight. We never heard that one before, right? But the type of carb is important to consider, as some tend to be more helpful than others, what's called a high glycemic index, meaning if they're broken down rapidly into sugar in the body, that does the same as if you were to drink 12 ounces of soda or fruit juice or something like that, or candy, eat candy. But the type of carb is important to consider, as some tend to be more helpful than others. Recent research found that whole grains might be the answer to a whole host of health concerns: blood pressure, blood sugar, and waist size. Okay, visceral body fat. I guess that's a another article that they have. Not going to go over that right now. A recent study in the Journal of Nutrition took a look at whole grain versus refined grain consumption, influenced people's health outcomes over time. They they surveyed over 3,000 people in their mid 50s for 18 years. Wow, that's a long period. Wow. At baseline and every 4 years after, participants completed a food frequency questionnaire, and researchers collected health and lifestyle data such as waist circumference, blood pressure, blood glucose, and cholesterol levels. Now, when they talk about refined grain consumption, that means not the natural in its pure form. That means very produced in factories, broken down. Let's go on. Researchers found that those who ate 3 to more servings of whole grains per day had smaller increases in waist circumference, better blood sugar control, and lower blood pressure than participants who ate less than 1/2 of a serving each day. So what does this mean for us? In short, whole grains deserve a place on your plate, and regular consumption is the way to go. There are several reasons why a higher intake of whole grains lead to better heart health and weight maintenance outcomes. Whole grains are packed with fiber and nutrients that otherwise get stripped from refined grains. Think the refined grains. Think white bread, white pasta, white rice. These are refined. These don't contain as much fiber. These are broken down quickly into sugar into the body. So again, it's like taking a teaspoon of sugar or eating candy or drinking soda. When you eat those refined carbohydrates, 100% whole grain is what you need to look for. 100%. If you're bread or something of that sort, or mixed grain bread, heavier bread. If you take 2 loaves of bread in a supermarket, if you don't know which one to choose, drop it on your foot, okay? The one that you really feel on your foot is the heavier one, the more dense one. That's the one you should get. The lighter, fluffier ones are the ones that you should avoid because they typically have less multi-grain variety or 100% carbohydrate variety. Fiber helps us feel full and satisfied for longer and helps us maintain a healthier blood sugar. And nutrients like potassium, magnesium, and B vitamins in whole grains help lower blood pressure and keep our heart functioning at its best. 1 serving of whole grains equates to 1 slice of bread, 1/2 cup of cooked grains, 1/2 cup of oatmeal, 3 cups of popcorn, about 5 crackers, or 1/2 cup of cooked pasta. If you are just getting started with whole grains or are looking to up your intake, try working it into meals you already enjoy. Add brown rice as a side for a stir fry or sheet pan dinner. Choose whole grain breads and pastas instead of refined options at the grocery store. So it's misleading advertising when you see wheat bread or wheat pasta. It needs to be 100% whole grain. That's the key. That's what you have to look for. Choose whole grain breads and pasta instead of we went over that. Start your day with oatmeal or snack on popcorn to up your intake and stay full throughout the day. Whether you are trying to lose weight, improve your heart health, or simply keep chronic disease at bay, aim for 3 or more servings of whole grains daily. When you do that, though, I find that we tend when we choose 3 or 4 servings, whatever, who really knows what that means? It's moderation is the key. Don't fool yourself. Be honest with yourself. Most of us intake way too many calories than we really should. So, for instance, don't look at the other person and say, oh, that person, wow, that person's eating 5,000 calories a day, and I'm only eating 3,000 calories a day. Well, guess what? They're over-consuming. You're over-consuming. It's not apples to apples, okay? Be honest with yourself. That's the key. Moderation and self-honesty. So until next time, let me know what you think. I'm Dr. Charles, a.k.a. CoachMD, urging you to stay strong in mind, in body, and in soul. Bye for now.
Dr. Charles, CoachMD. Thanks for stopping by. Make sure to like and comment below. I'd love to hear from you. If you think you have a friend who might benefit from this video, share it with them. For access to exclusive content, support my Patreon. There you'll get private access to videos, meditations, health tips, even relationship and financial tips. You'll have a say in what I produce and be able to participate in a monthly call with me. Don't forget to follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. See you soon.